Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to understand so many regulatory framework of secondary market. In the regulatory framework of secondary market, so we have different components. We have different attributes. So regulatory framework of secondary market means certain provisions or certain rules and regulations in order to run the secondary market. So for that we call regulatory framework of secondary market. So there are some kind of prescribed rules and regulation, there are some kind of provision, there are some kind of laws. So as per the laws we are going to execute the functions of secondary market. So we have first one, Ministry of Finance. Secondly, we have Security Exchange Board of India. Then we have governing boards. So these are the regulatory framework of secondary market. So in that first one, Ministry of Finance. So Ministry of Finance means the central government rules, like from the finance minister, there are some kind of rules. So every year the budget will be prepared and announced by the Indian finance minister. So that budget rules also applicable to the secondary market. So we have to consider those rules and regulation, maybe currency denomination, or maybe industry sectors revenues or expenses, or whichever it may be. So some kind of contribution always will be there in the Indian financial budget. So we have to consider that. As per that we have to go for functioning of the secondary market. Next, secondly, we have Security Exchange Board of India. Security Exchange Board of India, it's a apex for all investment mode. So whenever corporate established in order to run its business, so obviously they'll go for issuance of shares or debenture or any kinds of investment mode. So for all this, they are the head. So head of all the investment modes are called as SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. It's a apex body which has own regulatory framework for all investment mode. So which is applicable, which is not only applicable to the corporate company, which is also applicable to even stock brokers also. So based on the rules and regulation of the SEBI, we are going to execute certain activities of the secondary market. So we have to consider their rules also. That is called as Security Exchange Board of India. Next, we have a governing board. So governing boards are like controlling authorities. Controlling authorities are called as governing board. So whenever investments comes, obviously the tax also comes into picture. So most of the investments in secondary markets are having the tax benefits to the employees, or maybe if the investors are employees, or maybe some kind of professional. So for them they will be having tax concession. So that can be gained by investing the money in various securities. So it has a controlling authority in terms of income tax. So for that we call it as governing board. Then we have a stock exchange. So respective stock exchanges are also having their own rules and regulations for capital formation, for issuance of shares, debenture. So they are also having their own rules and set of rules and regulation. So if they want to list from primary market to secondary market, there are so many kinds of rules. So we have to consider their rules also. That is called as stock exchanges. So all these are the regulatory framework in the secondary market. So we have to consider these rules in order to functioning the secondary market. I hope you understood. So next, moving on to trading and the settlement. So trading and settlement means trading of shares or a debenture. Okay, and settlement means when the amount will be debited or credited to the investor's account. So for that we call it as we have different kinds of attributes. We have different types of attributes. The attributes are the trading means like the selling and buying of securities, whereas settlement means whenever we go for buying, obviously our amount will be debited. Whenever we go for selling of the security, our account will be credited. So that is we call it as trading and the settlement. So trading means like the purchase and the purchase of securities and the sale of securities takes place, whereas settlement means the amount will be debited and the credited. So we call it as trading and the settlement. So in that we have different components of trading and the settlement. First one, orders. So what do you mean by orders? Order means buying and selling of securities takes place. Buying and selling of securities takes place. That is called as orders. So in the order, both buying and selling comes into picture. So for that we call it as orders. So whenever orders comes, the price of the fixation of price for securities also comes into picture. So in that there are so many types of orders. In that first one, limit orders we have, next best orders, then we have stop loss orders, and at the end we have discretionary orders. These are the like types of orders. So whenever the price will be fixed, we will consider these kinds of types. First one, limit order. So limit order means, or limit price means, like the company security price will be fixed by both buyer and the seller. So buyer will not buy buyer will not buy that after particular margin. Even seller will not also not sell after a particular determined price. So for example, if the Reliance Industry share price is 50 rupees, so it will be buying for 50 rupees only. There will be a limit, within that he can buy, within that they can sell. So up to 50 rupees they can buy, they can sell. That is called as limit price. So the price of the security will not cross beyond the 50 rupees, even though for buying or even though for selling. That is called as limit price. So in the limit price, the price will be limited, the price will be fixed. So buyer and seller will not go beyond that. That is called as limit price. Then best rate order or best rate price means here both buyer and the seller gives the freedom to brokers in order to fix up the securities price. So for that we call it as best rate. So both buyer and seller will give the freedom to the brokers in order to set up the price of the security. So for that we call best rate. So according to the like history of the company, according to the previous record and the current record, so they will be fixing for the upcoming days. So that is called as best rate. So in the best rate, both buyer and seller agreed to fix up the price as per the like mindset of the brokers. We call it as best rate. Then stop loss. Stop loss means there will be a margin. The margin will be fixed by both buyer and the seller. So till that margin they can buy and sell. So it should not cross the particular margin. So there is a margin, that margin should be benefited to both buyer and the seller. We call it as stop loss orders or a price. So in the stop loss orders, like what will happen, there will be a specified margin will be set by both buyer and the seller. So within that margin, like they are going to buy and the sell. So that margin should not create loss for both buyer and the seller. So it should be benefited to both buyer and the seller. We call it as stop loss. For example, like the price of the securities can be sold for 30 rupees. So if they go for 30 rupees, even buyer also get benefits and seller also get benefit. If they reach 30 rupees, 32 rupees, 30 to 32 rupees, seller may gets profit, but buyer will lose the profit. So vice versa, if buyer go for 28 rupees, the seller will have a loss. That is called as stop loss. So the loss should be avoided. That is called as stop loss. Then discretionary like order. Discretionary order means the price of the securities will be fixed in terms of series. So the particular securities can be sold for series, like it can be sold from 10 to 20 rupees. Okay, it can be sold, it can be bought for 15 to 20 rupees. So that series will be given. Within that series they have to buy and they have to sell it. That is called as discretionary like what orders or a price. So where both buyer and the seller will be having benefit. So that we call it as discretionary state. So I repeat once again, in the limit there will be a particular price. So the particular price will be chosen from both buyer and the seller for buying and selling of security. Best rate means both buyer and seller will give freedom to the brokers to set up the price of the security. Stop loss means there should be a margin, profit margin to both buyer and seller in order to have profit. Next, discretionary means like here the price of the securities will be ranged from series of frequencies, that is called as discretionary. Okay, I hope you understood. Next, moving on to share groups. Share groups means for trading and the settlement, the shares will be grouped into different forms. So for that we call it as share groups. So in the share groups we have basically two types, A groups and the B groups. Okay, A groups and the B groups. Again in the B we have B1. Okay, first A groups comes into picture, then B1, then B. In this hierarchy, the shares will be grouped. First one, A group means like those company securities belongs to A groups, they will be having very good market capitalization and good public holdings. So we call it as A group. So those like company securities are having good market capitalization and having very good public holdings. So those are the companies will be into A groups. Okay. Then simultaneously B groups are also having the average in both the selling and buying of the security. So for them we call it as B1. So which is more than B. We call it as, even B1 is also called as B plus. Okay. So B1, in that those who have listed in the A, then the remaining will be those who are in the average buying and selling of the security. So they are belong to B1, and the rest of the company securities are belong to B groups. So we call it as B. So A, B1 and the B. So in the A group, so more capitalization and the good public holdings companies securities will be grouped, and simultaneously the average buying and selling of the securities will be taken place in the B1, and the B, the rest of the companies will be considered. That is called as A, B1 and the B. This is how the shares will be grouped in the secondary market. I hope you understood. Next, moving on to settlement. Settlement means, already I told you, when you buy and when you sell, automatically the amount should be debited and the credited. So the amount settlement is called as settlement. So we also call it as rolling settlement. We also call it as rolling settlement. So once we buy and once we sell, so it will be settled. The amount will be debited and the credited. So if you buy, automatically your amount should be debited. If you sell it, and your amount could be credited. That is called as rolling settlement. So in the rolling settlement, if you buy today, so when your amount will be debited. If you sell today, when your amount could be credited. So that is called as rolling settlement. So we represent this rolling settlement in terms of TN. Okay, trading and N. N means the number of days. The number of days. So if you trade today, when it will be debited and credited, we call it as T plus N. So in the security market, so they are having so many options here. The N can be even 1 day, or 2 day, or 3 day, or 5 days. 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, or 5 days. Okay. So in the initially during the year 1999, okay, in the BSE they have firstly introduced T plus 5. T plus 5 they have introduced. So if you do a transaction today, so the amount could be debited and credited after 5 days. After some specified 5 days, amount could be debited and credited. So later on they have come to T plus 3, simultaneously T plus 2, okay, and T plus 1. So currently within 48 days the amount will come to our account, that is called as T plus 2 and the T plus 1. This is how the trading settled in the secondary market, or a security market, or a stock market. I hope you understood. So T plus N will be taken place in the rolling settlement. Okay, fine. Next, moving on to online trading. Online trading. So, online trading means the purchase and the sale of securities usually takes place in online only. So, with the help of computers, we are going to buy and sell the securities. So, for that we call it as online trading. So, online trading which consists of order routing system. It is a order routing system, and through electronic ring we are going to go for purchase and the sale of securities. So, for that there will be a user ID as well as password. So, with the help of user ID and the password, the investors can log into the electronic ring and they can start buying and the selling. So, in order to have online trading, you supposed to have a accounts. You are supposed to have an account. So, you should have Demat account, and you should have bank account. You should have bank account. So, with the help of Demat account and the bank account, we can go for online trading. So, if you are well aware about the stock market, so by having these two, you can directly go for purchase and sale of securities. So, Demat account means dematerialization account. So, which consists of the basic background of the investors, like which include the name of the like what the investors and the occupation of the investors and the type of investor, whether it's a risk taker or a risk averse, and which also include the number of shares bought by the like what investor. So, the basic details will be there in the Demat account. So, Demat account supposed to be opened by investor, then only he can go for doing transaction in the security market. Then bank account. So, whenever you go for buy and sell, automatically your amount will be debited and credited. So, with the help of bank account only you can execute the purchase and the sale of security. So, in order to have online trading, these two accounts are mandatory. Okay, so if you are well aware about the like what stock market, so you can directly go for purchase and the sale of securities through online only. Or if you don't know, or if you don't have an idea in the like online trading, so if you have any doubts or if you have any problems while you are doing the buying and selling of securities, so with the help of stock brokers you can go for trading. So, stock brokers are the intermediary between the company and the investor. So, they work for the commission. For example, we have MK stock brokers, we have like what Karvy stock brokers, we have so many stock broking firms are there. So, with the help of them we are going to India Infoline, India Bulls. So, we have. So, these are the like what brokers work for commission basis. They work for the commission basis. So, with the help of them we can go for online trading. So, here earlier I told you, in order to go for online trading you should have a user ID as well as password, and you should have these two accounts, Demat account and the bank account. So, Demat account means dematerialization account, and which includes so many like what points in the online trading. So, here the client has to enter the stock code. So, while you are doing the online trading, the client has to enter the stock code and other parameters like such as quantity and price of the script on the place order window. So, you have to enter those things. So, the quantity of the securities you are going to buy, then price of the script you are going to buy. So, those things should be like placed on order window, then only you can go for online trading. Then the client can review the order placed by clicking the review option. The client can go for review the order placed by clicking the review option, and he can also reset to clear the values. To clear the values you can also reset, and also the satisfactory orders are sent by clicking the send option. Then the client receive an order confirmation message with order number and value of the orders. Okay. And also if the order is rejected by the broker or a stock exchange for a certain reason such as invalid price limit or a related message appears at a bottom of the screen, or the time taken to execute the order is more than the like time limit. So obviously it could be rejected. So we have to consider those things, then we are going to go for online trading. And also when the trade is executed, the broker asks for the transfer of funds by the investors to his account. So whenever the trade executes, buy and sell, so the broker asks for transfer of funds by the investors to his account, and stocks are credited and debited according to the buy and sell orders in the demat account. This is how online trading takes place in the secondary market. I hope you understood. Fine. So we have understood regulatory framework of security market or a secondary market, then stock exchange, which is included in the regulatory framework, and also we have understood the trading settlement, then orders, types of orders, share groups, settlement, in that rolling settlement T plus N, and also we have understood online trading. So these are all the basic things we have to understand in the secondary market. Fine. Next, moving on to types of stock exchanges. So types of stock exchanges in India, we have like so many types of stock exchanges. So the main stock exchanges are, we have BSE, then we have NSE, we have OTCEI. Okay, these are the main stock exchanges in India, major stock exchanges in India. BSE represented as Bombay Stock Exchange, then NSE, National Stock Exchange, and OTCEI, over the counter exchange of India. So these are the major stock exchanges in India. Okay. So coming to the first one, Bombay Stock Exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange, like the Native Stock and the Share Brokers Association. So it is established through the Native Stock and the Share Brokers Association, and also it is the oldest stock exchange in Asia, and it was recognized in the year 1957. It was established during the year 1957. The Bombay Stock Exchange was established during the year 1957, and when they introduced, after some specified period, so they have introduced the screen based trading. They have introduced screen based trading. So for that we call it as BOLT. It was happened during the year 1995. So during the year 1995, they have introduced BOLT system, Bombay Online Trading System. So Bombay Online Trading System was introduced during the year 1995. So later on, we have started buying and selling securities in terms of complete electronic mode. So whenever you go for buying and the selling, so it was very easy for you to access the securities. Okay, and the BOLT system, like when BOLT system came into existence, the timings was scheduled at 9:30 to till 3:30. So it worked from 9:30 morning, it will start, to till 3:30 PM it will work. Okay, the security transaction, securities trading will have from 9:30 to 3:30 PM. So this is the time period for the Bombay Stock Exchange, and here the securities are traded. Here the securities are traded as per groups which I have already told. What is it? A plus A and B1 and B. In this groups they are going to sell it. Okay, so A group, B1 group and the B group, and we have like surveillance system here. The surveillance system means the price fixation for the shades, we call it as surveillance system. So whenever price goes up and comes down, like how we are going to buy and how you are going to sell it. So in the price surveillance, in the surveillance systems, we are having two category. So first one, price surveillance, another one is pre-monitoring. In the surveillance system, the surveillance system happens in the Bombay Stock Exchange. We have price surveillance system and pre-monitoring. Okay, so price surveillance system, in that the low price, the high price, and we have circuit filters here. We have a margin. As per the margin we fix up the price. Okay, and as per the margin we are going for buying and the selling in the price surveillance, and also we buy as per the circuit filters. So whichever has the maximum return, minimum risk. So like that we go for buying and the selling. So we call it as price surveillance selling. Okay, price surveillance system. And pre-monitoring means before we go for buying and the selling, so we have to monitor ourselves. So where I can go for buying and where I can go for selling. So which area is better, which industry is better. So we should have a pre-monitoring system. Then only it could be better for us to have a profit. That is called as pre-monitoring. So these are the introductions to Bombay Stock Exchange. I hope you understood. Next, moving on to objectives of BSE. Objectives means the purposes of Bombay Stock Exchange. Why the Bombay Stock Exchange established? So because of so many reasons it was established. So in that, the first one, to safeguard the interest of investing public having dealings on the stock exchange, it was established. And to establish and promote the honorable and just practices in the securities transaction, it was established. And in order to promote, develop and maintain well regulated market for dealing in securities, it was established. And to promote industrial development in the country through efficient resource mobilization by the way of investment on corporate securities, it was established. So in order to execute these things, the Bombay Stock Exchange came into existence. So in that, the main one is to safeguard the interest of investing public having dealings on the stock exchange, it was established. So these are the things comes under Bombay Stock Exchange. Okay. So I hope you understood on the Bombay Stock Exchange. So in depth of that, in the further classes we will understand. When we go to other units, we will understand that. Next, moving on to National Stock Exchange, that is NSE, National Stock Exchange. Why National Stock Exchange established? What for the National Stock Exchange came into existence, and how it is different from Bombay Stock Exchange, that we can understand here. That is National Stock Exchange. So after establishment of Bombay Stock Exchange, the National Stock Exchange was established during the year 1994. During the year 1994, it was established. Mumbai, in Mumbai, it was established by the recommendation of Perivani Committee. It came into enforce. So why it was established? Because to overcome the problems like such as infrastructure facility, then transparency, liquidity, settlement system and single market. So for these things, in order to overcome these problem, the National Stock Exchange came into existence. Okay, so in BSE whatever we had a problems, in BSE whatever we had a problem, so that was established in the National Stock Exchange. So here there are so many like what promoters, there are so many promoters here. It was promoted by so many institutions. Okay, so the promoters are like IDBI, it was promoted by IDBI, then ICICI, then IFCI, then GIC, then LIC, then SBI, then Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, Corporation Bank, Indian Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Union Bank of India, then PNB, Punjab National Bank, then Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services, then SHCI, that is a Stock Holding Corporation of India. So these were the promoters of National Stock Exchange. So I repeat, they are IDBI, ICICI, IFCI, then GIC, LIC, SBI, Bank of Baroda, then Canara Bank, then Corporation Bank, Indian Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Union Bank of India, PNB, Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services, and SHCI. These were the promoters of National Stock Exchanges. Okay, so these are the promoters of National Stock Exchanges. Then coming to the objectives of National Stock Exchange. Why the National Stock Exchange was established? So National Stock Exchanges was established, the NSE was established nationwide trading facility. So it was established for nationwide trading facility. So BSE did not represent the nationwide, like here national. So our country name comes into picture here. So it was established nationwide trading facility. So all over the world it comes. Then all over the country it comes, sorry. Then it ensures equal access to investors. So here we have equal access. So if you have online trading, by opening the electronic grid, so we can start buying and selling. So equal access to all investors. Based on the groups, they will be categorized at the shade. So based on our convenient, we are going to access the securities. Then we have communication network. Like communication network means it's a information system. So if the price increases, price decreases, automatically that will be displayed in the electronic grid. Okay, so in the electronic way it will be displayed. So by seeing the share price, we can go for purchase and the sale. So everything will be communicated in the electronic way only. That's why it has a communication network, and it associated with so many companies. Okay, and here the NSE based on the certain parameters only which select it. And next we have it meet current international standard. It will meet the current international standard. So based on the international standard it was established. So it has all procedures based on the laws only it was established. So for that reason, so it meet current international standard, and it provide a fair, efficient and transparent securities market. It provide fair, efficient and transparent securities market to the investors. And it is a shorter settlement cycle. So within 48 hours, within 2 days, the amount will be debited and credited. So it's a plus point. And it's a book entry settlement system. So if the people buy and people sell, so obviously it will be displayed in the electronic way. So it's a book entry settlement system. And the market price of the National Stock Exchange will be represented as Nifty. Okay, the market price of the NSE will be represented as Nifty. So we do represent the market price of the NSE in terms of Nifty. So here the 50 listed companies will be traded. 50 listed company will be traded. So we also called as Nifty 50. We also called as Nifty 50. The same thing in BSE also. In BSE the market price will be represented in terms of Sensex. The market price of BSE will be represented in terms of Sensex. So Sensex means sensitive index. Okay, and here Nifty means it's a market price of National Stock Exchange. So with the help of like so many promoters, it was established with the certain objectives. These are the like basic parameters of like what National Stock Exchange. So in depth of that will be explained in the upcoming units. I hope you understood. Fine. Next, moving on to OTCE high. OTCE high. So OTCE high, it's a over the counter exchange of India. Over the counter exchange of India. Over the counter exchange of India. So it was started in the year 1992 after the role model of NASDAQ, that is National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotation. So it was started during the year 1992 and its aim is to create decentralized and transparent market. So why it was established? In order to like to create decentralized and transparent market, and its objective is to provide market for smaller company that could not afford the listing fees of large exchanges and did not fulfill the minimum capital requirement for listing. So those will be comes in the OTCEI, and the counter refers to the location of the member. Here the counter refers to the like location of members or the dealer where the deal takes place. That is called as counter. The counter refers to the location of member or the dealer where the deal takes place. And OTCEI member should have a computer and telecommunication facility. So then only they go for trading of OTCEI. Okay, so OTCEI started during the 1992 and its aim is to create decentralized and transparent market, and the counter refers to the location of the member or the deal where the deals takes place, and its objective is to provide market for smaller companies, and OTCEI members should have a computer and a telecommunication facility. Then only they can have the trading in the like OTCE like market. Fine. So here there are promoters. There are promoters of OTCEI. Promoters of OTCEI. So it was promoted by various institutions such as IDBI, then ICICI, then IFCI, then GIC, LIC, Canara Bank Financial Services, then SBI Capital Market, UTI. So these are the promoters of OTCEI. I repeat, so they are IDBI, ICICI, IFCI, then GIC, LIC, then Canara Bank Financial Services, SBI Capital Market and UTI. These are the promoters of like OTCEI. Then there are players in the OTCEI market. There are players here. So the players means the parties of OTCEI. The parties are generally two. They are members and the dealers. They are members and dealers, members in the dealers. So members act as a broker and they buy and sell securities according to the instruction of investors. Members act as a broker, both members and the dealers act as a brokers. They buy and sell securities according to the instruction of the investors. Okay, so both are buying and selling according to the instruction of the investors. And members may be public financial institutions like maybe public financial institutions, or maybe scheduled banks or mutual funds, or SEBI approved merchant bankers, or maybe a banking subsidiaries, or maybe a venture capital funds and other non-banking financial company with the minimum net worth of 2.5 crore rupees, then only they will be eligible to be a member in the OTCI. So the OTCI members may be a public financial institutions, or a scheduled bank, or a mutual funds, or a SBI approved merchant bankers, or banking subsidiaries, or venture capital funds, or any other NBFS with the minimum net worth of 2.5 crore, then only they are eligible to be a member in the OTCI. And dealers, when it comes to the dealers, dealers are individuals. Dealers are individuals, partnership firms and corporate entities. They are the individuals, partnership firms and the corporate entities with a minimum net worth of 5 lakh rupees. Then only they are eligible to be a dealer in the OTCI. So OTCI players are members and the dealers. So members like public institutions, and the dealers are the individual generally. Okay, this is about the players in OTCI market. I hope you understood. Next, moving on to scripts. So here the scripts will be traded. What kind of scripts will be traded? So scripts to be traded at OTCI, it's traded as per the guidelines of government. So here the whatever they go for trading of securities in OTCI, all securities are traded as per the guidelines of government only. Based on their regulations, we are going to trade it. That is called as OTCI scripts trading. Then when it comes to trading system, in the OTCI, the OTCI dealers screen has a left and right half for the sell and buy counters. So when one counters come, so in that there will be segregation left and the right. Okay, so half for the sell and half for the buy counters. One portion for the buy and one portion for the sell. Okay, the sell counters gives the rate, the number of shades offered, and the name of the market maker. Okay, in the sell counters they give details like the rate, the number of shades offered, and the name of the market maker they will be giving, and it is always in an ascending order from beginning to end with the lowest buy quote at first. So whichever is less, that will be listed in the first, simultaneously second, third, fourth will be coming in the particular sales counter. Okay, so I repeat, in the sell counter the rate of the script, the number of shades offered, and the name of the market maker will be there, and it always in ascending order. So start from the lowest and end with the highest. That is called as sell counter gives. And the sell quotes prices are displayed in the ascending order. Okay, and vice versa, the buy quotes will be placed in the descending order, and seller and the buyer can decide to go for purchase of that and the sale of that. If the price will be low in the seller counter, it will be first, vice versa in the buyer counter. This is how the trading system happens in the OTCI. Okay, so I hope you understood about the OTCI and its elements. Fine. Thank you.